Hello and welcome back to Football Manager 2018 with Blackburn Rovers in our final season ever as Blackburn Manager in a YouTube save. I'm probably going to carry on playing once the series is done. We are currently 9 games in, top of the table, undefeated in the league, just one defeat to our name all season so far, and that was against Real Madrid in the last episode. After the Real Madrid match, we returned home to Ronnie Clayton Park and we managed to batter Crystal Palace 4-0. Ivan Uricalo gets himself a brace in the 8th minute and the 90th minute. Francisco Foster scores as well. Another centre-back, Boban Stevkovic, gets a goal also. Nuno Leao and Alisson Rodzinski were the 2 goals for Crystal Palace. 4-2 victory, 25 shots, 10 on target. Decent win, keeping us top of the table. And then we had a little trip over to Ellen Road over in Leeds in Yorkshire. And it was a 3-1 victory. Gustavo Ortuzo with 2 goals. Francisco Foster very, very late on in the game in the 95th minute, making it 3-1. Fashrai Van Balaguj. Yep, him. He scored. He scored for Leeds. They were actually probably the better side. They had more shots, more possession. But we were clinical, I think is the best way to put it. Clinical. Today then, 2 very big games. First up, Manchester United away at Old Trafford. They are not doing as well in the table as they perhaps should be, currently down in 9th place. And then the return match against Real Madrid. We are bringing them to Ronnie Clayton Park, where so far we are not only undefeated, we've never dropped any points, and we love to score goals at Ronnie Clayton Park. We are the early kickoff of the day, so it means we have to wait for the Chelsea game, which is going to be late on in the day. Everton also with a 3 o'clock kickoff against Sunderland, so that's actually quite a big game, Everton-Sunderland. The starting lineup we are going to go for: in goal, Juan Pablo Velez, Boban Stevkovic, Ivan Uricalo and Lucas Bay will be the back 3, Tobiasen and Branko Markovic will be the fullbacks, Popovic and Montoya in the middle, Adam Fenton up front, Ortuzo and Foster will be the 2 main strikers. On the bench, we have a certain Christopher Kayombo. Now, he was a player I bought in the summer because I liked his mental stats. He wasn't that great. He's amazing at free kicks as well. He's 1 star. He's nearly 4-star potential. So, I want to bring him off the bench. I've also noticed I've got Basuni on the bench, who's also a left back. I don't need him, as well as Perez and Kayombo. It's going to be Russell Kingdon. You knew it was going to happen. The moment you saw that I'd sign him, you knew it was going to happen. He's going to get his Premier League debut. Today might be the day. The Theatre of Dreams, Old Trafford, will be the hosts for the game today. Manchester United are a very good side. Every time we play them, they always seem to do well. They don't have any real weaknesses in their side. This stadium looks pretty good. I like the way this stadium looks. Does kind of look a little bit like the San Siro, I think, which isn't what Old Trafford looks like, but maybe they've expanded it in the game. This is obviously an old rivalry rekindled back for the 2032 season. 15 minutes in, Manchester United have had all the shots, but not a single one on target. Corner for United, Dominguez takes it. Dennis Montoya clears, Kozemyakin's there, gets round his man, still gets the ball, crosses it in, D'Amico's at the back post, completely unmarked. We are 1-0 down to Manchester United. Our 100%, it's not... Our undefeated record, that's what it is, our undefeated record in the league is at risk. Velez's goal kick to Lucas Bay, forward to Joachim Tobiasen, Dennis Montoya, over the top to try and find Foster, but he doesn't manage to do it. Bolters back to the keeper of Perez. Their Perez, not our Perez, obviously. Our Perez is a central defender. Lucas Bay heads forward, but only finds Robin Remy. D'Amico, the goal scorer. Remy in the middle. Towards Bell. Bell across. D'Amico once again. He's got 2 players for company. Plays it back to Cisterna. Forward towards D'Amico, but it's not a great ball. Boban Stevkovic gets it. Nikola Popovic in his own penalty area. Forward to Markovic. Branko Markovic to Ortuzo. He's only got Francisco Foster up there. He's going it alone. Finds Foster. Foster has a go into the bottom corner. Perez just out of reach. Back in the game, 1-1, just under half an hour played. Markovic with a throw to Fenton. Plays it back to Markovic. Very strange pass there by Adam Fenton. Gets the ball back once again. Dennis Montoya to Foster. Foster to Ortuzo in the area. Ortuzo hits it just wide of the post. Corner for United again. Dominguez takes it once again. Daz Phillips is there but doesn't manage to get it. Kozemyakin back in to D'Amico just over the bar. This is going both ways at the moment. This is very back and forth. Dominguez's free kick, Kozemyakin. We've got 5 minutes of the first half to play. Crossed in, D'Amico's there on the head once again and hits it just wide of the post. D'Amico with a deep free kick for United to Bell in the area. Bell gets tackled by Markovic now. Branko Markovic, can he counter-attack? He's just smashed it up the right wing, and it looks like Adam Fenton, the speedy Englishman, gets there first. Foster controls it, takes it round his man into the area and hits it wide of the post. It was easier to score. Another highlight just before half-time. Cisterna's going to get there first. Remy, D'Amico, looking like this is a Manchester United highlight. Bertelli across. Felice D'Amico once again getting a lot of the ball. Cisterna, cross-field ball to Dominguez, the fullback. Kozimyakin, bit of space on the right-hand side. Is he going to cross it? And he does. Daz Phillips is there, straight at Velez, the keeper. That's probably the whole highlight and going to be half-time. It's been very one-sided, I think is the best way to describe it. Joachim Tobiasen has been ripped to pieces down that right-hand side, which means there's only one thing to do. I wasn't expecting to have to do this, but Christopher Kayombo, is going to make his debut at half-time at Old Trafford against Manchester United. I can see this backfiring massively for me. Markovic with a throw, 52 minutes on the clock. Robin Remy gets the ball first. Remy to Cisterna, counter-attack, going to be on now for Manchester United. Back to the keeper, questionable pass. D'Amico gets it back though. Runs forward over the halfway line, in towards Bell in the middle. Kozimyakin, Kayombo's going to close him down. Go on, Christopher. Doesn't get the ball. Dominguez now on the right-hand side. Bit of space. Crosses in. Lucas Bay heads clear. Kozimyakin finds D'Amico. Tries to curl it into the top corner, but it's deflected. Bell's there. Daz Phillips is there. We're 2-1 down. Adam Bell with the assist. I could see that goal coming. I really could. They probably should have scored earlier. We're going to try the Liverpool tactic of outscore the opposition. Stevkovic is on a 6.3. Markovic is on a 6.1. What? This is our problem. Our defence right now, awful. 71.5 minutes in. Markovic is going to come off and we're going to... what do I do? Who do I bring on? We're going to bring on Luiz as a right-sided wing-back. I don't know whether that's a good idea. That's all I've really got at the moment. Russell Kingdon, I'm sorry, buddy, but you're probably not going to get on today. Lucas Bay's been injured as well. Right, well, Perez is coming on. That is all of our subs. We're going to do that. I think that's probably a better decision. Perez has moved over to be the right-sided wing-back. We've done three subs in defence. That's not good. That is not a good sign. 4 minutes of injury time to play. It looks like we're not going to get anything out of this game. Our first defeat of the season. And it's come to the hands of Manchester United, one of our rivals. Are we going to get anything from this? There's 5 seconds to play. Bolters gets it clear. It is going to be all over. Popovic has been tackled as well by Phillips. Manchester United were just the better team. They had a better time as well. I'm not quite sure why this highlight is still going on. Unless Manchester United are going to score a goal now in Fergie time, I feel like the highlight should have ended about 30 seconds ago. There it is. The match has now ended. Okay, not great. Not a great game at all. Defensively, we were absolutely shocking. Aggressively, I'm far from pleased. Defence, you're also going to get a specific shouting at. I'm not happy with your defensive work. I don't know whether that was a good idea, because I've specifically picked on players who didn't get subbed. So the subs didn't get shouted at, despite the fact that they were the worst performing ones. And Lucas Bay's out for 2 to 3 weeks with a concussion. That is really not... That's 2 players, 2 central defenders out with concussions. How is that happening? At the end of Saturday, we are still top of the table. We were always going to be top of the table. We are 4 points clear. 4 points because Chelsea and Huddersfield drew. Sunderland have now leapt up into second place because they managed to beat Everton. So, losing to Manchester United, it wasn't great. It was not a good performance, but it is not the end of the world because we are still top of the table, quite comfortably, I'd say. Up next, a nice simple match against Real Madrid. That'll be fun. Leonardo Jardim's Real Madrid are our opponents now. Obviously, last episode we played them and we lost. We've just lost to Manchester United. Real Madrid, their last match was against Barcelona, which they drew 2-2. So they've had a nice easy warm-up game for this. 40,942 tickets have been sold for this game. It is a sellout. Ronnie Clayton Park. I think this might be the first ever sellout at Ronnie Clayton Park. We need to really get a victory against Real Madrid here, should in theory secure the next round of the Champions League. If we lose, we need to beat Olympiacos and Olympique Lyonnais, which in theory should be doable. The starting lineup that we are going to go for will be Velez in goal, Stevkovic, Luiz and Urukalo as the back three. It's a makeshift back three. Jonathan Siriu is almost returned from his concussion. Probably not a good idea to have him on the bench, but when you spend £70 million on a player, you kind of want to use him. Branko Markovic and Joachim Tobiasen will be the fullbacks. Popovic and Montoya will be the central midfielders. Fenton will be playing just behind Francisco Foster and Paul Oakdina. Now, Gustavo Ortuzo, he's been dropped because he has not scored a goal in the Champions League yet. Despite the fact he's got 13 goals all season, he is not turning up for Champions League games. Therefore, Paul Oakdina is going to be playing up front alongside Foster because Paul Oakdina does score in the Champions League. Welcome to the home of the Rovers, Real Madrid. Ronnie Clayton Park hosts its biggest ever Champions League tie against, I'm assuming, Spanish champions. They might not be Spanish champions because Spain actually has 3 teams that could be champions, but certainly against one of the best teams in the world. First highlight of the game, we've got the ball into the penalty area. Lee Chang-soo is going to run it clear though for Real Madrid. Finds Quito on the left-hand side. I'm not expecting anything to come from this. They've got it in the box, they've had a go, hit it just wide of the post. 30 seconds in, we've had potentially two efforts. And now, before even a minute has ticked over, we've got another highlight. Popovic with the ball. Dennis Montoya to Fenton in the centre circle. Forward to Foster. Foster's got the ginger wizard to his right. It's his left. He's put it in the back of the net anyway. It doesn't matter what side he was. That was a great finish from the American. We've moved up to top of the table. 1 minute in. 1 minute in and we are beating Real Madrid. I've mentioned this before, but for some reason at home, we score shed loads of goals. Actual shed loads. We've won games 5-0, 6-0, 4-0, things like that. So if we do the same here, that's going to be spectacular, and we're going to basically be going through to the next round. Vorapev's cross in, Mateo's there, just over the bar. I mean, we also do concede goals at home. Luiz with a free kick to Dennis Montoya. Adam Fenton. Foster gets it now. Ginger Wizard's there. Markovic is there as well. Going to cross it in. He's whipped it to the back. Tobiasen's there. A cross goal over the bar. 24 minutes on the clock. 1-0 so far. I think if it stays like this, we are pretty much guaranteed to go through now. Maybe. Oh, that's not good. That's really not good. That's both my goalkeepers now injured. Okay, we are 1-0 to the good, but bad news. Right, just sort that out. The bad news is, what is up with Velez? What is up with Velez? What have you done? I can't... Why have I clicked on you? That's not how you find out. It's hover over it. Potential neck injury. Gil is still out with... he's got broken fingers, I think? Or a broken finger? Yeah, broken finger. So Gil will be back soon. I'm going to risk playing Velez until the end of the game. Because if he's going to be injured, I don't want to bring him on and get him injured as well. So we're just going to stick with one injured goalkeeper. This is where Velez is playing with a broken freaking neck. I can see it now. He's going to come off the pitch with an actual broken neck. Markovic has intercepted the ball, but this is the first highlight of the second half, so nothing's going to happen. Fenton's corner, we're an hour in, it's cleared. Paul Oakdina gets the ball. Oakdina will be coming off very shortly unless he scores. Fenton gets it. Terrible control, but wins it back. Crosses in, Foster's there, and Francisco Foster has made it 2-0. An assist from Adam Fenton. It was lucky. It was really lucky. It was sloppy. Fenton lost the ball a couple of times there. Foster was lucky to be unmarked in the penalty area. 2-0 though. And with that, Paul Oakdina is coming off. And we're going to bring on Prince Nelson Guidetti. I do not need to bring on Ortuzo. Ortuzo, we are 2-0 up. So why should I bring on him and potentially risk an injury? That's my thinking. Final 15 minutes and... final 10 minutes now. Time for another sub. Montoya off for Torres. We're also going to do Wildson for Markovic. That is all of the subs done. 10 minutes to play. 2-0 to the good. It should be fairly simple now to just run down the clock. A minute and a half left. It's slowed down, but we've not got a highlight. I don't know what's happening. With 15 seconds left, we do have a highlight, and that's probably going to be the final action of the game. It's going to be a 2-0 victory against Real Madrid at Ronnie Clayton Park. 40,000 Bristol Rovers? It's not Blackburn Rovers, that team. Blackburn Rovers fans celebrate, jumping up and down. 2-0 victory. I'm now really concerned as to what Velez's injury is. I'm hoping it's not a bad one. Here we go. Here we go. What is it? 11 days to 2 weeks for the neck strain. I think Gil will be back in time for our match on Saturday against Newcastle. So it's not the end of the world. It's not great though. So at the end of this episode, we are still sat top of the Premier League table. We are also now sat top of our Champions League group thanks to the 2-0 victory against Real Madrid. Next episode, we are going to go to Middlesbrough. And we're also going to go and see the last match of the Champions League group. Hopefully by that point, we might have already secured our qualification. If we have, we might get Everton Middlesbrough, because I feel like the Everton game's going to be quite an important one for our season. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Football Manager 2018 with Blackburn Rovers. If you did enjoy, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like, if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next time.